Hey, friends. I'm Otis Gibbs, and this is my buddy Tim Easton. He's going to tell you a story about Chrissie Hynde and the importance of teaching art in school.
I went to high school in Akron, Ohio, and I graduated from Akron Firestone, which is in West Akron. And that particular neighborhood and that particular high school has quite a bit of rock and roll history there. Chrissie Hynde went to school there. We shared the same art teacher. The Black Keys both went to that high school. Joseph Arthur went to that high school. Some members of Devo also. So Chrissie Hynde had the same art teacher that I had, and his name was Gerard Culver, and he showed us his classes these two drawings that she did. And I remember him saying a couple of things. One, he had no idea how much talent she had and that she could sing. And then he would show us these drawings. And here's what the drawings were. One was a self-portrait and one was of Ray Davies. And she grew up to marry. So she was drawing a picture of the guy in the Kinks that she didn't marry him, but they had a child together, right? I believe maybe it was Jim Kerr that from the Simple Minds that she married. But so she drew a picture of Ray. And he would show us these drawings. And then so when I finally got to meet her, which was backstage, Columbus, Ohio, I was like the prep cook at a restaurant, and her load in was in the same. We used the same service elevator, so I popped up in my bib or whatever I was wearing, the prep cook outfit, and I went to see her. And I walk out of the elevator, and she's right there with her kids, young kids on the ground. One of them was playing with a Blonde on Blonde cassette. I'll never forget. That's like an image you can't forget. Like there's the Blonde on Blonde cassette. He's just playing with it. The kid is of Ray Davies, is the dad of this kid. I just go up and say, "Hey, Chrissie, I'm Tim. I graduated from Akron Firestone. I believe we had the same art teacher." I get right into the meat of it. She's like, "Gerard Culver." I'm going, "Yep, that's the one." Anyways, he's got two drawings of yours. And this is where it gets kind of complicated for me. For some reason, I was embarrassed to tell her that the one drawing was of Ray Davies, because they had just recently split up. It doesn't make any sense, but here's what I said. I said, "Yeah, one's a self-portrait and the other one's of Elvis." And she goes, this is exactly what she goes, "Elvis?" And I'm like, oh, yeah. That didn't make any sense to her, and it was wrong. And so she ended up going back to Akron and opened up a vegetarian restaurant, and it's not there anymore, but she ended up going back and having an Akron resurgence, like hanging out. She called it Backron. And she showed up to town, hitting the town. And hopefully she got those drawings. And but I haven't talked to her since then. So, maybe someday I can talk to her again and say, I actually knew that drawing was of Ray. I don't know why I was embarrassed to say that to her. I guess because I was like, didn't want to remind her of what was going on. But like, they had a kid together, and yeah. And the Black Keys went to that school, and those guys, we know each other. We don't associate much, but we all live in the same town here in Nashville. And the fact is I was their paper boy. When they were little kids, I was their family's paper boy. And I've been able to meet Dan's dad, and I've talked to Patrick a bit. It'd be nice to work with Patrick. I appreciate their consummate hard work. They just keep going, and Dan's producing really cool records. And so I'm find myself kind of a fan and in admiration of someone's really hard work. And those guys are certainly part of it. And that new Tony Joe White album is just really cool that Dan kind of took those tapes and did something with them. I love it.
Was it inspiring as a kid that these really cool people, went to your school? And did it make you think maybe I can do something cool also?
Yeah, in the case of Chrissie Hynde, 100%. I mean, that was just as cool as it got. Like those tunes in that time, there's a lot of quality fluff on the radio. I'm not digging on Journey or anything like that. I mean, I love that stuff. But the Pretenders were just badass. I mean, it was a strong feeling. And yeah, to have the pride of her being your hometown person, and also me being her parents' paper boy too. Like I'll deliver in the Akron Beacon Journal to her family as well. And I think she was over on Stabler Road. Her parents still were, and I was living on Larchmont. So we're all really close in that neighborhood. And yeah, Devo, massive influence on my life. You wouldn't think musically, but just the idea that they followed their own path. And Chrissie, she was a journalist who became a rocker and kicked ass. It's like, of course it empowered you, that, and my dad telling me I should be my own boss. And my brothers I'm the youngest of 7. So my brothers taught me about Doc Watson and the blues and Mississippi John Hurt, and, pushed me into this folk music, or just kind of made sure that I heard that. And then when they saw that I was writing poetry, they were like, hey man, if you play guitar and write poetry, you can write songs. And that was it, man. I was off. I don't remember being like, I wonder what I'll do with my life. Like I just started doing that, So my big brothers and my sister, who is a consummate painter, massive influence on like the path of the creative. Yeah. I just taught engineering in a school in high school here yesterday down in Columbia. I this arts program, they got me in there talking to kids about recording and stuff. And I try to be that move, because I remember those characters coming through and inspiring. So I do that all around the world now. I like to go into schools. I got friends that are teachers all around the planet. And I've gone into schools in Spain and then all across the country. And of course, Alaska. I love to go into schools there. And I will be that, like, bring a troubadour to school day and just say, you know what? You don't have to be in a cubicle, man. You can actually follow your passion, and you don't have to worry about it. Just enjoy making something and following that and chasing that to the next thing, because the idea that you're going to get roped into something you don't want to do is something I'm trying to help people break that. And I got encouragement, man. I got encouragement from my parents. And I'll just say this, part of my mission in life, I really feel like, because of what was given to me by mentors, is to also occasionally wake that one kid up to the idea that they can follow this path that's in their heart. And that's part of it. It's like really just kind of waking someone up to the idea that you don't have to worry about success or failure right now. Let's concentrate on what makes you feel happy. Do you feel happy writing poetry, painting, drawing, building something? Is that, let's find that. And let's get you around the right people that are good at it so they can show you how they did it. And that's kind of part of my life's work now.
If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and tell me down below what your favorite Pretenders song is, and I'll see you somewhere down the road. Much love to you.